Good morning, I'm Trisha Bear from the Culinary Command Post, and today I'm going to show you how to make slow cooker cream cheese corn casserole. So first of all, I prefer to use corn on the cob. So I have about 4 cups of corn, which took about 12 corn on the cob that I took the corn off already. And we're going to put that in the slow cooker. And then I always use a bag in the slow cooker because it's a lot easier to clean up. And we're going to mix it together and then we'll actually put it in the slow cooker. But we also have 8 ounces of softened cream cheese that I cut up in cube pieces. We have a 1/4 cup of regular milk, a 1/2 stick of butter, which is 1 stick cubed, it's salted butter. Then we have 2 tablespoons of sugar, 1/2 teaspoon of salt, 1 small can of mild green chilies, a 1/4 teaspoon of pepper, and then a tablespoon of smoked paprika that we're going to put on top. And then we're going to use about 1 tablespoon of, you can use powdered garlic or you can use the minced garlic. And then I also like to add in the ranch dipped sour cream, creamy ranch dipped sour cream. And I like to add that in because it already has onions in it and sour cream. And then I'm going to add some fried green onions on top once it gets done. So it's actually going to cook in the slow cooker on low for about 3 hours. And then I'll add the cheese, which I have Tillamook cheese and then smoked cheddar that we're going to add on top of the corn casserole after it gets done. So maybe the last 20 or 30 minutes. We'll add the cheese and then the green onions. So we'll put those over here. Okay, so we're just going to put our corn in a bowl, which is about 4 or 5 cups. And basically you're just going to mix all the ingredients together and then put it in the crock pot. So we're going to add our cream cheese, which is softened at room temperature and it's chopped up in little pieces. And you do want to make sure it's softened. So just for now, we're going to soften this just a little bit. It's not as soft as it should be to mix it. So we're going to put it in the microwave for just a second because I want it to mix up properly. And if it's not softened enough, it's not going to mix into the corn very well, and you want to get it evenly distributed. So let me just put that in there for about 30 seconds just to get it a little bit softer. Okay, so while that's melting a little bit, we're going to put in our 1/2 cup of sliced butter, and we're just using the regular butter, not unsalted. And then we're going to add in our can of green chilies. And you don't have to drain the can. Green chilies. Then we're going to add in our salt, 1/2 teaspoon of salt. And then 2 tablespoons of sugar. A 1/4 teaspoon of pepper. A 1/4 cup of milk. You can use regular milk, or if you want to use heavy cream, you can use that as well. And then I'm going to go ahead and put in the 1 tablespoon of paprika. And then 1 tablespoon of the garlic, minced garlic. You can use powdered if you want. I may go ahead and put 2 tablespoons just because we have a lot of corn on that. Alright, now let's see if our cream cheese is soft enough. Yeah, it's a lot softer than it was, so. We put in our 8 ounces of cream cheese. And then I'm also going to add, this is about 16 ounces, so we're going to add about half of this container, so about 8 ounces of your Daisy cream ranch dip. Then we're going to mix it all up. And we'll put our fried onions and our cheese on probably the last 20 minutes. Just want to make sure the corn's all completely coated with your cream cheese mixture. And then we're going to put it in our crock pot for about 3 hours while making my other dishes today. If you haven't already submitted your essay for the VFW Voice of Democracy contest and the Patriot Pen, the essay's due the end of October 31st. And on the Voice of Democracy, you can win up to $35,000 college scholarship at the national level. And then at the national level, you can also win up to $5,000 for the Patriot Pen. And you also win prizes at the post level, which for us is Henrietta, or District 7 level, which is Okmulgee, McAllister, Henrietta, Eufaula, and Okmulgee, if I already said that. But anyway, there's about 5 towns in our district. You can win money at the District 7 level and then the state level. Now, the Patriot Pen is only for 6th through 8th graders, and the Voice of Democracy is for 9th through 12th graders. And the Voice of Democracy essay is an audio essay. It's not a video essay. It's an audio essay. And so you turn in your audio essay on like an MP3 flash drive or something, and then you can turn in the typed version of your essay. But the Patriot Pen is just a typed essay. It's like 300 to 400 words, half a page typed is what it is. And usually they have different themes, but this year they had the same theme, which is basically how do you show patriotism and support for your country. And that's our theme for both essays this year. So if you're interested in winning money and prizes, it's definitely worth checking into, and it's super easy to do. If you want to turn it in, you can turn it in to myself and my phone number is 479-414-0952. And our office is located behind Love's gas station, the VFW office. But you do want to call because I'm there by appointment. I help veterans do their paperwork and try to get their VA benefits. And it doesn't cost them anything for me to help them do their paperwork. Also on the Voice of Democracy essay, if you are the state winner, then they'll pay for you to fly to Washington, D.C. So it's a free trip to Washington, D.C. They have a big convention that they give kids their awards. So you really don't know what place you are in the nation until you go to Washington, D.C. And if you're a state winner, they'll pay for that trip, and then they'll award the prizes there. We had a kid a few years ago from Oklahoma that won 4th or 5th place at the national level, and he still got $4,000 or $5,000. So there's still a lot of money to be won. Even if you don't win the $35,000, you still can win a lot of money for the essay. I think we had another kid. He was from Okmulgee, and he won 1st place at the state level, but he didn't win the national level. He didn't win there, but he ended up getting $1,250 total for 4 levels for his essay. So you can still win money at each level, so you got 4 levels to win money at. Alright, it's pretty much mixed up now, and it's going to mix more when it heats up in the crock pot. So we're going to put the crock pot on low, and we're just going to cook it for about 3 hours while I'm cooking my other dishes. All right. And just put the lid on and then turn it on low and just stir it occasionally. And like I said earlier, we're going to put our cheese and our fried onions on at the end, maybe the last 30 minutes. I'm going to put it on low. Let's see what time it is. It's 1:23. So about 2:30, actually about 2 o'clock, we're actually going to put our cheese and our fried onions in. And that's it. That's how you make cornbread casserole. We'll come back in a little while to check it. Okay, so on our corn casserole, all we need to do now is the last 30 minutes it's in the slow cooker, is we're going to add cheese, which you can add as much as you want. So I'm just going to put about a half a cup of cheese. And then I'm also going to stir in the cup of fried onions. It's a corn casserole. It's like corn with green cheese, green chili, peppers. It's not hot though. It's